Hello everybody, today we're going to make a couple of flags. Let's start with possibly the smallest flag of Vatican. We're going to work using basically the same fabric as in some of the previously published instructions. In this instruction we're going to twist all bubbles of the same, less than 1 inch size. Let's twist the first yellow and the first white bubbles, lock their free ends in one lock twist, and then we twist a chain of the next 3 yellow bubbles. In this example we're making a square piece of fabric with sides 4x4 bubbles. Lock both ends of the chain of the first 4 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. Twist the next 3 white bubbles. Lock both ends of the chain of the first 4 white bubbles in one lock twist. Twist the 5th white and 5th yellow bubbles. Lock their free ends in one lock twist. Twist the chain of the next 3 yellow bubbles. And then we'll lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. To make this small size sculpture I used scraps of balloons left from previous sculpture. Let's twist the chain of the next 3 white bubbles. And then we'll lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 white bubbles in one lock twist. Congratulations, we have made the square piece of fabric with sides 4x4 bubbles. Actually we made 2 connected rectangles with sides 2x4 bubbles each. Let's cut off the rest of the balloons and tie off the ends. I want to stress your attention that we use even number of rows to make this piece of fabric. Now we have to use permanent red and yellow markers to draw the symbol on the flag. I've done it in advance. Here's this piece with a symbol. In the following example, I want to make larger size flag of Vatican. Inflate balloons leaving about 8, maybe 9 inch flat tails. Let's twist the chain of the first 10 yellow bubbles. We're going to make a square piece of fabric with sides 6x6 bubbles. It will consist of 2 connected rectangles with sides 6x3 bubbles each. There is some mess involved in making all balloon sculptures. Actually the mess involved in everything around us. Alright, let's lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. Now we have to twist the chain of the next 2 yellow bubbles. This time we're making rectangles with odd number of rows, 3 rows. It affects how our sculpture will look like. Let's lock both ends of the chain of the last 8 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. Now we have to twist the 13th yellow bubble. And then we'll lock both ends of the chain of the last 12 bubbles in one lock twist. We have made 2 rows. Now let's twist the chain of the next 2 yellow bubbles. And then we have to lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. We have to force the rest of the yellow balloon through the loop of 4 yellow bubbles. Now we twist the chain of the next 2 yellow bubbles. And then we lock both ends of the chain of the last 8 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. Again we have to pull the rest of the yellow balloon through the loop of 4 yellow bubbles. Okay, now we twist the 18th, the last yellow bubble. From here we can cut off the rest of the yellow balloon and tie off the end. We have made the first rectangle with sides 3x6 bubbles. Now we have to attach white balloon to one of the long side of yellow rectangle. Our sculpture would look differently, depending to which long side of the rectangle we will attach yellow balloon. As you may notice, the difference is only in the way we're making the corners of the sculpture. In this example, I'm going to tie nozzles of yellow and white balloons in one knot. And then we're going to work the white balloon basically in the same way as we did the yellow balloon. We have to make the same rectangle shape and connect it to the yellow balloon. Here we twist chain of the first 10 white bubbles. Later I will show you how the sculpture looks like if we connect the white balloon to the other side of yellow rectangle. Now we have to lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. Now we twist the chain of the next 2 white bubbles. Let's lock both ends of the chain of the last 8 white bubbles in one lock twist. Twist the 13th white bubble, and then we lock both ends of the chain of the last 12 white bubbles in one lock twist. We have made 2 white rows. Now we have to twist the 14th white bubble, and then we lock the free end of the 14th white bubble between nearest 2 yellow bubbles. We have to force the rest of the white balloon through the loop of 4 yellow bubbles. Then we twist the 15th white bubble, and then we lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 yellow bubbles in one lock twist. We have to pull the end of the white balloon through the loop of 4 white bubbles. Pulling the balloon through the loop of bubbles, it is probably the hardest part of making these sculptures. Now let's twist the 16th white bubble, and then we have to lock the free end of the 16th white bubble between the nearest 2 yellow bubbles, again pulling the rest of the white balloon through the loop of 4 yellow bubbles. Twist the 17th white bubble, and then we have to lock both ends of the chain of the last 8 white bubbles in one lock twist. Let's make the the 18th white bubble. We have to lock the free end of the 18th white bubble with the last yellow bubble. Congratulations, we have made the square piece of fabric with size 6 by 6 bubbles. We can keep the rest of the white balloon, use it as a handle, for example, or we can cut it off and tie off the ends. I'm going to use scissors to trim off ends of the balloons, make it nice and neat. Now let's take a look at what we have done so far. We just made square piece with size 6 by 6 bubbles, and previously we made a square piece with size 4 by 4 bubbles. Again, we can use permanent yellow and red markers to draw the symbol on the flag. I did it using different piece of fabric. In this example, I attached different sides of rectangles. Look at the corners of the squares and you will see the difference. This difference could be very crucial in making different sculptures, especially if you work with color patterns. In the following example, we're going to make flag of Algeria. Let's inflate green and white balloons, leaving about 9-inch flat tails. Let's twist a chain of the first 8 green bubbles. This time we're going to make flag that has a rectangular shape with sides 4 by 6 bubbles. It will consist of 2 connected rectangles with sides 4 by 3 bubbles each. Let's lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 green bubbles in one lock twist. And then we twist the 9th green bubble. Lock both ends of the chain of the last 8 green bubbles in one lock twist. Once again we're making rectangles with odd numbers of rows. Now we twist the chain of the next 2 green bubbles, and then we lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 green bubbles in one lock twist. Twist the 12th green bubble. We can use the rest of the green balloon to make the handle or flagpole. I'm going to cut it off and tie off the end. We have made the small rectangle with sides 4 by 3 bubbles. In previous examples we tie nozzles of the balloons. This time I want to connect the other sides of the rectangles. Let's start by twisting chain of 3 white bubbles. And then we lock the free end of the third white bubble between the third and the fourth green bubbles. We have to force all three white bubbles through the loop of the four green bubbles. Don't rush here, you have to hold the white bubbles to prevent them from untwisting. And now we have to twist the chain of the next two white bubbles. Then we have to lock the free end of the fifth white bubble between the nearest two green bubbles. I think it is the fifth and the sixth green bubbles. Very good. Now let's twist the chain of the next three white bubbles. And then we'll lock both ends of the chain of the last four white bubbles in one lock twist. Let's twist the ninth white bubble, and then we have to lock both ends of the chain of the last 8 white bubbles in one lock twist. We have made 2 white rows, and they're already connected to the green rectangle. Let's twist the next 2 white bubbles, and we lock both ends of the chain of the last 4 white bubbles in one lock twist. Now we twist the 12th, the last white bubble. Congratulations, we have made the rectangle with sides 4 by 6 bubbles. We can use the rest of the white balloon to make a handle or flagpole. It is simple, just let's twist the 13th white bubble and lock both ends of the 13th white bubble in one lock twist. It's a one way. And we can do it with 2 additional bubbles. Just twist the 14th white bubble and lock both ends of the 14th white bubble in one lock twist. With 2 additional bubbles we can keep the flag in any desirable position. I don't need the handle in this example, so let's untwist it and cut off the rest of the white balloon, tie off the end. In this example I'm going to use a white correction liquid and permanent red marker to draw the symbol. Here is another example. In this example again I connected different sides of rectangles. First I use correction liquid to paint the symbol on a green and the white balloon, let it dry, and then I paint it over with red permanent marker. Using white correction liquid as a base helps to make the red color appear the same on different color balloons. Here's a closer look. Congratulations, we have made the flag of Algeria. And here's a piece of fabric that we have made together. You can see the ends of the balloons in the corners of the rectangle. Let's use scissors to trim off the ends, make it look nicer. Alright, today we use fabric to make flags. We can use the same fabric to make many more different flags, and of course we can use it to make different sculptures. In this instruction we connected fabric with even and with odd numbers of rows. We have made 2 flags of Vatican, different size, and we have made the flag of Algeria. It should be enough for today. Have fun and happy twisting!